Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Slane Hope, and I got another video for y'all. So we're going to check out the clip, and then we're going to get to the commentary.
I feel like you aim at like a broader range of women, and you feel like all women are the same. I don't think that, and I feel like you're very general. So I feel like you should.
What does that mean? Hold on. Are generalizations valid?
No. To me, they're not.
Oh, hold on. Did you go to high school or did you go to college?
I'm in college now.
So generalizations aren't valid.
To a certain extent, I feel like you have to find some validation between something like
No. I want you to put on your student hat.
Okay, it's kind of on. This is my bonnet.
Do college graduates generally make more than high school graduates?
Yes.
But is that always true?
No.
Is the generalization still valid?
Yes. It is.
And this is one of the, before I even get to the commentary, if you like my content, you already know the vibes, give it a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe to the channel, man. I ain't asking for a lot. But let's get into the commentary of the video y'all just watched. This is why I tell the brothers all the time, stop arguing with these women. Stop going back and forth with them, right? Especially when you're coming from a place of logic. They do not operate in logic. They operate in the I feel like. And I believe she said that in the video. I feel like when you talk, it's always about feel when it comes to most of these sisters. Because see, this is the problem with a lot of us, right? We want a woman that has logic. But a woman that has logic, she is going to be operating more in the masculine sense. But then at the same time, we don't want a woman who is masculine, right? We got a problem with that. So then it's like, we want somebody logical, but if she's logical, she's going to be a little more masculine, but we don't want somebody masculine. And it gets confusing and conflicted. So to even having an emotional woman, you have to come to the realization that 9 times out of 10, they are going to operate from the standpoint of their emotions. Some of the issues that we confront, right, is that some of these women are a little masculine, but they're masculine, but they still don't even tap into their logic, right? So the whole thing is, I tell the brothers all the time, stop arguing with them, because they don't care how many stats you pull up. They don't care what scientific proofs you pull up. They don't care what mathematical equation that you do to show them how you got where you got, right? They don't care about none of that. Because when you're operating in your feelings, it doesn't matter what the facts is. It doesn't matter what the truth is. It doesn't matter what the proof is. This is why emotional men, or men who operate out of their emotions, are not good leaders, right? This is why when a man operates out of his emotions, we can tell he's a weak man. Not because it's not all right to feel sad or to feel hurt or to feel emotional, but when you let your emotions drive your thought pattern, when you let them drive your actions, like our sisters do most of the time, then you are looked at and perceived as a weak man, because we know that what gives strength to the man is being able to, even if he feels something, to be able to still operate from a logical standpoint. You get me? So when brothers be sitting here complaining and trying to show the facts or trying to change the mind of a lot of these women, it's not going to happen. You see how he simply broke it down in the video? And because, you know, she came in there talking about generalizations, and he broke it down. Let me give you a few examples, right, before I even get into the generalizations. When you go to court, when you go to trial with a jury, do you know what the prosecutor does? The prosecutor love having women in the juror. As a juror, I said juror. I wasn't to say jury. But the prosecutor love having women as jurors, right? And they like having emotionally weak men. You know why? Because they love the fact that they can sway you through your emotions. See, when you go to trial, a lot of times it's not, even though the judge says it's about the facts, right, of the case and what evidence they have, you know what ends up happening? The prosecutor always plays to the emotion of the people. They always play to the emotions of the people. And when you play to the emotions of the people, they are not going to care about what the facts is. They're not. For example, if it's a rapist that is being accused and he is the defendant, and there are some women in that jury, bro, you going to be in trouble. and then don't let you be a dad and you're on that jury, or like, come on, you're going to be in trouble. You know why? Because the emotions of the people are at stake. Not at stake, but you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be messing with their emotions. So that's kind of like what happens in trial, right? It's never about the logic. It's never about the proof. It's never about all those things. It's about the story that the prosecutor tells to make people feel like you're guilty. The same thing happens when you vote, right? These politicians go around and they rile up your emotions, and then we get riled up, and then our emotions being riled up, we vote with our feelings. We never vote with a logic. We never vote with what the truth is and what is actually going to help. We vote with how we feel about the politician, or if we like you or not. And this is a problem. So the same thing applies to our sisters. If you follow my drift, you can't keep trying to come with logic for creatures who are always dwelling on the emotional aspect of things, right? And then they all have the same rhetoric about they don't like to be generalized. But most of them do the same thing. They go to the same academy on social media. If you really look at it, right? Because of generalization, that's why he just broke it down. Like, most college graduates are going to do better than high school graduates. And she agreed to it. And even when she agreed to it, you could tell she didn't really want to agree. And she probably, if the video was longer enough, she probably had a rebuttal. Because that's how a lot of our sisters operate. Even when they say, you're right, but it's always a but. And when you say but right after you said you were right, it's almost like negating what they just said, right? But anyway, let's get to the generalization. So a lot of our sisters don't like to get generalized, but they do the same shit, right? For example, most of them, not all of them, most of them, they follow the same pages on IG, right? Most of them take advice from the same toxic memes, right? Most of them are reposting and following and agreeing with a lot of the shit that Justin LaBoy say, that niggas be broke page, the spiritual word, whatever, like shade room, this, that. You get what I'm saying. There's a lot of these toxic pages on social media, IG specifically, that post toxic content or toxic advice. And yes, some of them are going to say, oh no, that's just for jokes and fun. Nah, bro. What you feed your brain constantly is going to start to regurgitate out your mouth, and it's going to start to show in your actions. I'm telling you, what you feed your brain constantly, you even start to process that stuff and do it subconsciously. So a lot of our sisters, right, they're reposting, they're starting to even emulate the characteristics of some of these crazy ass toxic ass memes, right? They take the same pictures, right? They either take a picture covering their stomach with their hand in front of their stomach, they either crossing their legs, or they either got their leg out trying to prop up the booty cheek, you know, to try to make it look like it, you know, like it's sticking out there, or they got the 3/4 turn. So here a lot of our sisters are, not all of them, of course, but here we got our sisters, they're following the same pages, they're reposting the same memes and reacting in the same type of ways, right? They tend to be very emotional instead of logical or really see where we're coming from, right? They tend to post the same type of pictures or pose in the same type of pictures, but yet they want to tell us, don't generalize them. Well, what are you really doing that's different? What are you really doing that's different, right? So, again, brothers, even old school men will tell you this. Old school men that probably been married for a while, they'll tell you, don't argue with your wife. You're not going to win. I done heard plenty of old heads say that. Don't argue. You're not going to win an argument with your wife. You're not going to win an argument with your woman. And if a lot of our men understood that, then they wouldn't be sitting here trying so hard to get them to understand where we're coming from, because our brains are totally different. We're wired two totally different ways, bro. Two totally different ways. So if you're going to do whatever you're going to do, just do it. But don't try to sit there and try to make them see. Some women are going to see, like I said. And I told you, usually the women who are more logical tend to be more masculine. Now, I believe, for me personally, I like my woman with a little healthy dose of masculinity. You know what I'm saying? Not too much, but just enough for her to maybe understand me a little bit, or just for her maybe a little bit to not just be a pushover, right? If that makes sense. But anyway, that's the end of the video. Let me know what y'all thoughts are. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and y'all stay safe out there. Peace.